Well, I'm out today on the Blue Revolt and it's cold. It's not as bad as yesterday though, because yesterday we had torrential rain and high winds. Oh dear, it was hard going and I was so wet and honest. It's difficult when you're cold and wet. Oh, yesterday was just so difficult. And you question your sanity. And not only that, other people question your sanity too, judging by the looks you get when you're out there. But still, we've still got quite a strong wind today, about 26 miles an hour I think it is. And you sort of do a double take and you look at the weather app and it says temperature 6 degrees, yeah, okay, not too bad then. And then it says real feel -6. And I tell you what, they're not wrong. It does feel bloody cold today. And I found it very difficult this winter coping with the cold. I did have a little bout of man flu, so kept me off the bike for a bit, and it's taken a while to recover from that, and then I had a stomach bug and one thing and another, but maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe it's just old age. Oh, I don't think the road had flooded that much last night. Wasn't expecting that. I don't think I've ever seen that bit of road flooded. And another thing I've really struggled with this winter, mind you, is something I always struggle with, and that's going slowly, because you can't go as fast in winter. You've got wind, you've got rain, you've got flooded roads and all kinds of things like that, and sometimes combinations, where you've got that low winter sun and a bit of flooding on the road, so you can't actually see where the flooding is because of the sun, and so generally you just have to go slower. And then on top of that there's the cold, because your body actually uses quite a lot of energy to try and keep you warm. Yeah, there's more flooding. Wow, I must have slept well last night, because I didn't hear any rain. So if your body is using a lot of energy to keep you warm, there's less energy for cycling. But that doesn't matter. I'm still disappointed when I get back from my ride and Strava says no achievements. I'm off to Ogmore today to go and have a look at the sea, because I like the sea. It's usually quite a nice ride around Ogmore. It's only normally about 14 miles, so I've extended it out a bit today. I have ridden this road before, but not in this direction. So I do know that I've got a steep climb to contend with, but how well I cope with it remains to be seen. How much water is on the road? Well, that we'll find out as well, because, as I said, I've never really seen flooding on this road before, so it's all a bit unusual. And I'm riding directly into the wind, so that's not going to make the climb any easier. Well, here we are, top of the climb. and it wasn't as bad as I thought. One little steep bit which was a bit of a struggle, but other than that, not too bad. So, and that's another route that I can add on to my route network. So here we are, back in St Bride's, and that's where the Ogmore loop starts. And if you do visit the Vale, it really is a nice ride. Definitely recommend it. So we'll take the turning here off to Sutton Down, and then it says Ogmore by sea. There is also an Ogmore Vale, so don't get too confused, because whilst it's very pleasant, there's a nice cycle path up through Ogmore Vale, you're not going to see the sea. There is a bit of a climb on this first bit. It's not too bad, but look at that. This is where you get your first glimpse of the sea. And there's a nice downhill here to help you recover. Although I'm having to pedal on the downhill because of the wind. I'm normally freewheeling down here. This wind is mad. Whoa! I literally had to pedal all the way down the downhill. So, if you haven't recovered enough, there's a lovely little pub over here, look. And we start climbing again, not very far, 3/4 of a mile maybe, not too steep either. It's lovely and rural out here. It's hard to believe you're only 5 miles from Bridgend. The wind is quite strong, you've got to be a bit careful. It's quite exposed here. Although once we get to the next bit, there's some stone walls to offer a bit of protection. And then once we come around this corner, this is my favourite bit of the ride. And again, a bit of caution on a windy day. Look at that view. Oh, sea's a bit choppy, you can see it's windy, can't you? And then that brings us up into the village. If you look across the other side of the bay, you can see Porthcawl. If you fancy a longer ride, if you combine a seaside loop around Porthcawl with a seaside loop around Ogmore, the whole ride combined is about 32 miles. If you go down this little lane here, there's a new coffee shop down there, dog friendly. Be careful of the parking restrictions if you do come up here, because this section here, permit parking only. Basically something they've put in to protect the revenue of the exorbitantly overpriced car park down the bottom. Down the hill here is the pay and display car park. And then this road, a nice straight road, takes us through to Ueni. I like this bit of road, you can normally get going down here. And it's lovely to ride alongside the river. On the other side of the river is the Merthyr sand dunes. If you fancy a walk, I tried mountain biking over there, but the sand is too soft. And here we have Ogmore village. I think about 4 houses here. And then just after this stone building on the left You see Ogmore Castle. Well worth a visit. But cycling there is a good idea because there'll be parking for about 3 cars, and the parking is on the riverbank, so the river is tidal, so you'll be careful when you park there as well. And there's another nice little pub here, the Watermill, which is good if you fancy a mid-ride beer. And then under the bridge, back to UNE, and then you turn right here, and that'll take you back up to St Bride's, where we started from. If I do that ride from home, it's about 14 miles, but the loop itself is only about 8 miles, so you're on holiday and you fancy a little short scenic ride. Definitely worth a look. I've said it before, I feel really fortunate to live where I do, because there's some lovely places to ride a bike, and none of them that far away. I always ride from home. I never feel the need to put the bike in the car to go somewhere else. So if you're planning somewhere to go in Britain, well, South Wales isn't a bad choice. Can't guarantee the weather, of course, but we can always guarantee the scenery.